Hello. Welcome to another episode of Superstar Interviews, where we interview the top coaches that we personally have gotten value from, that have been showing up consistently in their entire practice. And most importantly, they preach what they teach. They teach what they preach, and they get the results that they're preaching. Okay. They're not just in it to talk about it and, hopefully make something out of it. No, they're committed to their purpose. They're committed to making the world a better place. They're committed to getting results for their clients. And that's something that we really, really value here at Ivy Leads. We believe that the people that show up, do the work, and get it done will eventually get exactly what they hoped for, dreamed of, planned for, because it's doing the work that actually gets you closer to where you want to go, right? So I am so excited for you guys to listen in, watch this interview with the one and only Coach T. So Teresa McConnell, she is one of my favorite nutrition coaches. She is so good with the way that she's able to not only encourage women all over the world to live a healthier and more practical life, but her time management skills are off the charts. Like, she's partnered up with not only another RN, registered nurse, and also a bodybuilder. She's also a registered nurse, where the trifecta, they're actually creating a program called SHINE. S is for sleep, H is for hormone, I is for inflammation, N is for nutrition, and E is for exercise. Like, the whole entire scope of your well-being, that's what they're being able to, cater to you. And something that's really, really unique and special about them is the fact that they have a medical background, all three of them. So now they're able to take what they've learned in the field as being a registered nurse and being in the actual premises of hospitals and like actual lab testing, if you know what I'm talking about. They are able to actually cater to you in a way that no other coach is doing it out there, with lab results, with nutrition, custom nutrition, with awesome, incredible recipes that you will never have to sacrifice chocolate ever again. And that's something that I truly respect about Coach T. She's all about eating the goods, and she's not going to sacrifice none of her cravings, because she has a plan on how to actually do it, whether it's gluten-free, whether it's, making special recipes that reduce inflammation or make sure that your thyroid doesn't act up. They're just really good at what they do. Okay. So make sure to check out this episode with her. She's really, really cool. You'll definitely get the vibe. And most importantly, check out their Facebook group, where they're actually doing live sessions, and they're sharing all the secrets when it comes to different unique recipes and how you can really maintain your diet alive in your everyday life. So I'm so excited for you guys to check this out, and make sure to go check out that Facebook group. I know I'm in it. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for gracing us with your time today, Coach T. You're awesome. So thank you for so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much for that intro and having me on here. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to talk about all this stuff, especially about food. I'm passionate about talking about food. So let's do it.
Yes. And I know a lot of our audience wants to know, like, especially as coaches are becoming coaches, what were you doing before you decided to go all in on your coaching practice?
Oh, I love this question. So I started my business right as the pandemic was happening,
Wow.
right when it kickstarted. But shortly before that, I was a full-time RN, and I was doing my coaching on the side. I was working at a hospital bedside, working 12-hour shifts, really doing the grind. It was a little bit brutal, especially with my family life. I have a daughter, she's 8. My husband, it was really hard, rotating shifts, night shifts, all that stuff. I loved helping people, of course, but it was just not really like my passion. And I really found that when it came to like nutrition and helping people with their diet and just getting healthier overall.
Yeah. I mean, how did you know, like, especially because there's a lot of coaches out there that, they might have just gotten certified, but maybe
Hmm.
they're scared to take that leap because
Yeah.
their 9 to 5 or wherever it is that they're working is a steady paycheck, you know?
Yeah.
And then
That's true.
taking that next step into entrepreneurship and going all in on their passion, it could be very scary. So, like, what kind of advice would you give someone in that position?
Oh my God, that is a really good question because it is scary. It really is. Especially if you have that steady job, that steady paycheck. But you have to think about it at the end of the day. Like, is this what's making you happy? Is it, something you're passionate about? And is it also making the impact that you want? I know a lot of entrepreneurs, of course, got to think about money, but a lot of entrepreneurs are really passionate people. They also want to help a lot of people and have an impact. So I say just think about it from that perspective. And yes, it is scary. Totally understand that. But it's also really exciting in that way too. Scary and exciting.
Yeah.
I say embrace it. Yeah. Hmm.
I could imagine. And what are some things that you learned, like, being in the medical field and literally seeing people come in from all walks of life
Yeah.
into the hospital? Like, what was something that really triggered you that was like, you know what? This is enough. I'm tired of seeing this. I need to make a change and I'm going to go all in on my coaching because I know I can do better and I can make a bigger impact.
Oh my, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a little story. It was 3 a.m. and I had been working my butt off the entire shift. And I was taking on way more patients than we're legally allowed to. And I just remember feeling like a total slave at that point, compromising a lot of things that shouldn't have been compromised. And I was like, the system is messed up. I should not even be in this position. And it really started this whole process for me like, hey, I know like I deserve better than this. And the people, they shouldn't even be in situations like this. But that is just like a fact of what happens, especially in nursing when there's not a lot of nurses and you still have a lot of patients to take care of, right? So I still wanted to help people for sure. I just didn't want to do it in that setting. Yeah. So that was something that stood out right in my mind. Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Was there any like moment, because my dad's a nurse,
Yeah.
right? So whenever, like, let's say when I was younger, and like let's say it was a party, he would always remind me of the one time that he was at work and he saw some kid with a broken leg come in because of drunk driving or
Yeah.
something, and he made it very vivid for me. So
I'm
like
sure. Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
it was like, don't do it, Isa,
Yeah.
you know? So like I'm curious, I mean, because you've seen a lot of stuff. Okay. Was
Yeah.
there something that really stood out that was like, ever since I saw this patient, I knew something had to change?
Yes. I've definitely had quite a few moments like so I'm just gonna leave it at that because some of it is a little bit graphic. Like when you're in the medical field, you see some crazy for sure. You got stories for days.
Right.
But it just got to a point where it was just like too much drama and not enough of what I was passionate about. So it kind of set the scene for me to go into business for myself. It was a really big struggle right before I got into my business, but it kind of like set the scene
Yeah.
for me to take that leap and not be as scared. I was just like really ready to get out of what I was in at that point.
Yeah. What are some mental exercises that you've done? Because you're very like, I would like to call it like structured. Like you
Hmm.
have it very structured in your day where it's like you're very great with time, so time management is very awesome for you. So what are some exercises that you do to stay focused not only in your business, but then also within your life?
hmm I would say like in the morning, definitely dedicating time to myself and just
Mm,
getting like my thoughts together and getting the day organized too, because I know when things are organized, it just flows better too. And also starting off the day with like a gratitude practice. That's something that I do consistently. And I notice a difference when I slack on it too. Like I'll just end up in a foul mood in the morning, whatever. But like when I change my perspective on things and focus on what I'm grateful for, everything just seems to flow a little bit better. So I recommend that to seriously everybody, even like my weight loss clients. I'm like, start your day off with gratitude. And they're like, that's not going to help me lose weight. I'm like, yes, it will. I promise. Yeah, definitely
yes.
works.
Yeah. Awesome. So like speaking of your clients, because you have quite a few, like what type of hell to heaven stories are you open to share? Because I know a lot you like to keep things confidential within your clientele because some of them they don't want to share that type of journey with
hmm
people, since you take a different approach, since you've been in the
hmm
medical background. What is like a hell to heaven story or success story from your clients that every single time that you think about it, you just remind yourself, this is why I left that 3 a.m. moment at the hospital because I knew I was designed for greatness.
Yeah. So with a particular client, okay. So I have a client in mind that popped up right away when you mentioned this. And with what I preach and everything with my business, I'm all about long term results because we've seen it so
Mm,
much where I think we know how to get people quick results, but we don't know how to get people to keep those results, right?
yeah.
Well, with this particular client, I had coached her a year before and she sent me a picture. Now, when I first started with her, she was telling me she was like really depressed, a lot of health issues. She had tried every single fad diet out there. And she was like miserable. She was like, I'm ready to make a change. And honestly, she was like, I don't really think I have the money, but I'm gonna figure out a way. So I didn't pressure her or anything like that. But then, like 2 weeks later, she came back and she was like, I'm ready to do this. So I was like,
Wow.
all right, let's do this. And we worked together for about 4 months. And she got phenomenal results, right? But it was interesting because she couldn't see the results really until like I started showing her like pictures from when she started till like the end. And then she was like, wow, I did that. So it was amazing to see that transformation from month one to month four. But then a year later, like we had kept in contact the whole time. I do this with a lot of my clients where like I'm always like sending them like stupid memes and they're sending me stuff back. Right? But she sent me her picture from a year later looking better than when we stopped working together. And my
Wow.
jaw was on the floor. I could not believe it. And then she was sending me pictures from like a fitting room, trying on all these like sexy, cute clothes. And she was like, I've never felt better in my life. Thank you for helping me start this whole process. And that really made my day. And I was having a crappy day. I remember that too. I was like, upset about some things, but then she sent me that and it just really made me realize like, hey, this is amazing. This will change people's lives. It is changing people's lives. So that's what keeps me in it when I'm having those like rough patches, you know what I mean? But to take clients from that kind of hell where they're like really depressed, not feeling like the best version of themselves. So it's kind of bigger than weight loss though. It's really helping people get to that feeling of being the best version of themselves. So that's why I always say, yes, you come to me for weight loss, but at the end, you will feel amazing. Yeah.
Yes, the mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yes, awesome. So, I mean, where do you see yourself in the next like 1 to 3 years
Uh-huh.
in your business, in your life, all of that?
Yes. So definitely big plans. We've been expanding. When I first started, it was just me. But then I joined forces with a really good friend of mine. She's a nurse practitioner, so we're both nurses. We got a lot of knowledge about this stuff. And also another friend of mine who is a bodybuilder, very good at what she does. So it's just going to keep growing. And we're hoping to just increase our impact by helping as many women as possible. I want to be like a international brand, actually, and we've already started taking calls and stuff from people all over the world. So that's been amazing because, I started in 2020, right? So a little under 2 years in business, and already we're seeing that growth. So that's been amazing. It hasn't been easy the whole time, but it's definitely been incredible. It's been a ride. Yeah.
Yeah, and you said something really, really important. Like you've decided to expand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What advice would you give someone that is currently in a position that they might feel alone in their business
Yeah.
and they want to grow, but they just don't know how to grow?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Get help. I know that sounds bad. Get help. No, but I'm serious. Like being a
Yeah.
business owner, it's hard, right? There's a lot of pieces going on, right? Get help from somebody. Like, if you got to do your research, whatever, get a mentor, link up with other entrepreneurs because they will help you throughout this process where guarantee you're going to feel alone because a lot of entrepreneurs, we don't have like that family support either. They're usually like, what are you doing? Why are you giving up that paycheck kind of thing? You will hear that a lot. It does get really lonely, but when you have like groups out there, specifically for business owners, entrepreneurs, stuff like that, it is so helpful. And it's fun to vent to each other sometimes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
But support is important.
I love that we just like literally transitioned to one of my favorite parts here because you're currently growing a private Facebook group, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
With your partners?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, ladies and gentlemen too are included in here. The brave souls.
Well, you know what? We're just sticking with the ladies. We want to keep it strictly for the ladies. Maybe in the future we'll expand, but I know my specialty as a nurse, it was in women's health. So that's kind of like how I started. And then I don't know, we've stuck with it because we're really good at it and we know women's issues. Yeah,
Yes.
but maybe in the future, yeah.
So keep that in mind, guys. Hold your breath. It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this Facebook group because you mentioned that you guys always do like really cool stuff during the week to keep things ignited and keep things, really fun. What is the last thing that you guys did? Because that was really awesome.
Yeah, so we actually did a Facebook Live on how to meal prep with Instapot. And oh
Crazy.
my God,
It's so good.
they made like 3 or 4 meals in like 30 minutes. I could not believe it. It was so quick and all the meals looked absolutely delicious. So we love helping women, especially with the time management thing, because that could be a
Yeah.
big part of this, right? It's like, hey, you can make these delicious meals, not sacrifice flavor, anything like that. And you can make it quickly too. You might need a little bit of planning, but hey, we're here to help you guys with that.
Yes. You mentioned something that you have every single day, and I'm a big believer in it. You might be a big believer in it, whoever's listening in, but this is something almost like a religion thing. All right. And I truly believe that without this one thing a day, okay, that gratitude practice might seem a little hard in the morning. So I know you mentioned something that's really, really delicious that you have every single day. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like a breath of fresh air. Thank God you said it because I love it too. So what is it?
Okay, can I just tell you first that I've gotten a lot of crap from they're like, how are you going to be flaunting that all over Instagram? And I'm like, no, this is the key to success. So it
Yes.
might be different for everybody, but this is what works for me. Chocolate is life for me. I have to have a little bit every day, but it just makes me so happy. And life is short, right? You can't get rid of all your favorite foods at all. So this is what's interesting. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but I'm actually prepping for a bodybuilding show in a couple months, and I
What?
actually have it in my program to have chocolate every day. And I'm telling you, like my DMs are always like, girl, what are you doing eating that chocolate? I'm like, I'm living life. I'm living my best life, you know? So that's the mentality I want people to have too. It's like you don't need to be miserable. And if you want to lose weight, like you can eat some of your favorite foods, you know? You definitely can. It's
Yes.
really I don't know. I really like to talk about moderation and enjoying life too, for sure.
Yes. Let's tackle that right quick. What does moderation mean to you? What does that actually mean?
I know that is a really I actually made like a graphic for it because I'm a visual person too. It's like, look, you eat these healthy foods this many times a day, and then here's a burger here. So I like to follow what's called the 80-20 rule.
Oh
And
wow.
it's kind of good for people that are like into numbers, or I'll show them this graphic. It'll show them like, hey, you have these many meals a week. These are how many that you can deviate from a plan, you know, and you don't have to stress out about it. You just eat what you want and you keep it moving, you know, there's no guilt. You're just living your life, you know? So that's a big thing that I like to preach is like, you got to live your life. And I don't want to pick on any programs or whatever, but there's one that I want to talk about. I think it's called 75 Hard. And I've seen people get really good results on it, right? I'm like, wow, they look really good. But I always want to ask them, like, what happened after? You know what I
Mm.
mean? What happened after 75 Hard for you? And they're always like, girl, I need to get back on it, you know? And I see on their program you have to work out like twice a day and do all these things. I'm like, I don't got time for that. You know what I mean? So I try to help people incorporate their favorite foods, live life, and enjoy life too while getting healthy. So it's kind of like a different spin than what diet culture has out there currently.
Yeah, and I love that about your program because it's it's about like, for example, me, I'm a very busy person. I
Yeah.
don't have time to let go of that one thing that makes me so happy, which is chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't want to sacrifice all the other stuff that I have in my on my plate, you know,
Yeah.
and you actually tailor it for my lifestyle so I can
Yeah.
sustain it after we stop working together. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. And I know a lot of busy women out there that just need to get that help. This is your sign. If you're looking for a sign, this
Yeah,
is it
seriously.
right here.
If
This
you're
is
on
it.
my Instagram and you haven't reached out to me, come on now, let's go.
Yes. And what's like, do
So
you prefer voice notes? Do you prefer a DM? Do you want them to call you? How do you prefer to be, called?
it really depends on what their comfort level is. I know some people, if we get on calls, for instance, they will not get on a Zoom. I'm like, it's okay, girl, whatever. You know, my hair is looking crazy too. So we'll just keep on the phone, right? So, or like they just want to DM for a little bit, get to know each other. That's fine too. You know, I'm pretty comfortable communicating multiple ways. So it's whatever, because here's the thing. Like when these people come to me, they're talking about some really private matters sometimes, right? And it can be a really sensitive topic too, for sure. So I try to be, you know, aware of that and let them take the lead with what they're comfortable with, you know, like how they communicate with me.
Yeah, and that's something that I really love about you, Teresa. Like the way that you're able to just make your vulnerability, like if I have a vulnerability, I'm able to express it to you. Like you don't shame me for it,
Oh
or you
no.
don't judge
Yeah.
me for it. especially in the fitness space, because like sometimes it's hard for someone that doesn't like to work out to
Right.
all of a sudden go to someone that looks awesome and feels great and, you know, is lifting, to being like, I would like to do that. How can I start? Like that one
Right.
step forward is really hard. So thank you
Yeah.
for allowing vulnerability to be a part of the process. You know, sometimes the whole attacking thing, 75 hard, or like, you know, being too aggressive,
Yeah.
it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, for sure. Here's the thing. I totally understand because I've been there. Like I was definitely that person that did every single fad diet, probably because I don't have much of an attention span. So like I like to do new things and I did that before. And I remember I hit a point where I was like tracking every single calorie and I was getting frustrated because I had a long
Uh,
day doing clinicals. And I just remember thinking like, do I really need to do this to get to my goals? I was like, I can't. I really can't. So that's a moment that really stands out for me. And that's why I created a program that was for sustainable weight loss, you know? So I've been there, I've done it. Went through weight gain too when I was in nursing school. Not fun. I totally get that. And trying ridiculous fad diets. I did like a banana diet. All I ate was bananas. I can tell you some ridiculous stories. Yeah, but I feel like I'm really in tune with my with the people I'm trying to help, you know?
awesome. So what is I know that you've been in the field of like, okay, you had to go to a job site and you had to be there physically, okay? Now that you've made this transition, how does it feel to be location independent?
Um, what do you mean, like being
Like,
online, a total online presence
yeah,
versus like having to go somewhere? I love it. It is amazing. I'm all about it. So, I'm glad that you brought this up because me and Samantha, my business partner, we have been doing this big push of trying to provide people healthcare virtually as much as possible. So I mean, we are getting a little bit of kickback because it is, I guess, newer. I don't know. To me, it's not that new, but a lot of people are still adjusting to that. But it's like, look, especially with what happened with COVID, right? We really
mm,
had to pivot from not being able to go to the doctor's office. But we took that and saw a need like, hey, we could have another surge where we're not able to go to a doctor's office or something like that. Why don't we provide this service completely online for people? So we do testing as well. So that's been an amazing addition to the services that we have. And Samantha goes over labs and all that stuff with people. And we do everything online. Our fitness training, we have an app where we deliver all the exercises that you can do. So you could do it at the convenience of your own home. And if you want to meet with me, you can just book a call with me. And then you could show up in your PJs. I don't care, whatever. We'll all show up in PJs. That's been amazing. Yeah.
wow. So you guys have really, really scaled up. That's really impressive.
It's been a lot of work, a lot of hit and miss kind of thing, but I think we are onto something really big when it comes to this. So we're just trying to make it convenient for people to, take care of their health.
Guys, if you're not in your PJs right now and super excited to get healthy, I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm stoked for that. That's beautiful. And especially like the ability of you guys being able to pivot so fast. That's wonderful. I love the fact that you guys keep your clientele in mind and are always pushing forward for the most innovative ways to keep them healthy, especially
For
with the
sure.
labs. That's really
For
awesome.
sure. Yeah, we're really excited about this. And we're trying to talk to people as much as possible about it. And it's kind of like, what? You guys don't have a physical location? It's like, no, like wherever you want in the country, you want to talk, let's do it. Let's make it happen, right?
That's awesome. So what are some ways that that you're helping your clientels all over the world? Because I know you guys have this awesome method. It's called the Shine method, y'all.
Yeah.
So I know that this has been revolutionary for a lot of people. Could you please like just shine some light on everybody with the shine method?
Yeah, I'd love to. So, this method, we have been working on it for a bit, and it's from experience with our previous clients. So we took like everything that was successful with them and put it all into one. And we noticed this trend with people overall. A lot of times they would just focus on one piece, like the fitness piece, right? Which I totally get. Fitness it can be really fun, especially if you do something like dance and you love dancing, right? But what we're noticing is that people would neglect other areas of their life that has been shown through research to impact your weight. So I'm talking about things like sleep. Sleep is one of those big things. And we like to bring this up because it has an impact on our appetite. So it
Mm.
also drives up hormones and things like that. And also, we're less likely to execute healthy habits too when we're lacking sleep. So things like that, we talk about it all throughout the Shine method. So we talk about sleep, hormones, inflammation, of course, stress, all those different aspects that can affect your weight. So it's a little bit different than what we typically see in a weight loss program where you're just, you got your fitness routine and your nutrition. No, we wanted to do like a lifestyle transformation for people.
That's awesome. Mind, body, and soul. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
So shine is S is for what?
Sleep,
Sleep, hormone,
hormones. If I get this wrong, somebody H is
inflammation.
for hormones, inflammation. Um, you know what? I keep forgetting what N is. Jesus Christ. Oh, what is it? Samantha's gonna get mad at me. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but we have the N and the E on there too. I will think of it in a second, but yeah, it'll happen later. But yeah, but it's pretty much talking about all the different aspects of our life. So we talk about all those things throughout our program, and it's really like a whole holistic thing, I guess. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, the best way to get access to the shine method and get that holistic method and the whole thing, okay, is to
Mhm.
join the Facebook group, because that's literally where you guys are meeting up every single week, right?
Yeah, so we like
So
to invite
gracious.
people. Yeah, we like to invite people to the Facebook group because they can actually see us too and interact
Yeah.
with us when we do these lives. So they can kind of see like who they would be working with. So if they were like, man, these girls are annoying, right? At least you get to see that, right? But if you like us, you like our vibe, then you get a glimpse of that during our lives and be like, okay, I can work with them for sure.
Absolutely. And you're definitely not annoying. You're one of the coolest people I know.
I
So
appreciate
thank you.
it.
Thank you. And, Coach T, we have this one question that we always ask. Okay. And it's probably going to be the most important question that I'll ever ask you.
Okay.
Okay. And the audience might know this question, but this is very, very important. Are you ready?
Okay, let's hear it.
What does freedom mean to you?
Well, that's deep. Yeah. No. Freedom. Freedom to me is the ability to do what you want without restrictions, right? And I'm also talking about from like society's perspective too, where when I think of freedom, I think of not having to do your typical 9 to 5, live life through the way other people see it or how you should. It's really living life on your own terms. So that's freedom for me, and that's something like I strive for just every day, just trying to get to that point where I do what I want. Yeah, kind of thing.
Yes. Wow, that's beautiful. I love that, without restrictions. I
Right.
love
Live
that so
live life
much.
to the fullest, right? Instead
Yes.
of, being miserable in a job that you hate. because you have a degree in it. I'm a perfect example of that. I have my nursing degree, and I wasn't happy with that job. So I got out of it, you know? But I've heard it so many times where it's like, oh, you should have stayed in that. You could make a ton of money doing that. But I wasn't really happy doing that.
Right.
So yeah.
I love that. And honestly, thank you for your time, honestly, because I know you're very busy. So I really appreciate you squeezing a little bit of time in here for us. And honestly, if you guys are ready to make the change for long-term success within your mind, within your body, within your soul, definitely reach out to Coach T. Join the Facebook group. It's going to be life changing and get some shine in your life. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah,
some shine in
seriously.
your life.
And have some fun with us too. Definitely in the Facebook group. We do a lot of fun stuff, a lot of good recipes. We do fun tips. We do like some quick challenges just to get some motivation up, you know? So, yeah, have some fun with us.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure, Coach T, and we shall see you very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.